Hey Geminis, it's Drea with Abundant Life Divination, and this reading is going to be all about loving on you, yourself, and you. So let's jump right in and start by pulling a couple of oracle cards to see where you are in your self-love journey, what energy is surrounding this reading for you. And the first card that we have out for you is integrity. You demonstrate the truth and honesty of your soul and manifest love with your every action. Let's grab another and see what other energies are surrounding this reading for my Gemini collective. What else is happening for my Gemini collective in self-love? And what we have for you is relaxation. So starting off this reading for my Gemini collective, there's very much a sense of breathing in, coming into yourself, and acting in a way that honors you and the core of who you are. So this seems to be very much an energy of living in your own truth and being comfortable with that. It feels like for a lot of you, there may have been some stressful things happening in your life that really caused you to operate in a way that was not sort of comfortable for you, that was not your norm, that was not reflective of you as a person, your principles, your beliefs, what you were all about. So this almost feels like a little bit of a shift happening, you sort of standing in your truth, standing in your own power, and being comfortable with that. Whereas I think previously there was sort of an element of discomfort where you maybe were giving more attention to other people's thoughts or other people's expectations, and it put you in a place that was not particularly good for you. And it's almost as if there was sort of a reevaluation done, right? That you took a little bit of time to sort of stop and think and consider, like, am I operating the way that I want to be reflective of who I am? Feels like the answer was no. And maybe you're getting into that space where you're sort of thinking, okay, I need to move through my life a little bit differently. So how you're seeing yourself right now, we have the Five of Wands in reverse. Now, the Five of Wands upright is the card of defensiveness, right? So almost having to sort of fight off other people. And I feel like now you're getting into that place where it's kind of like, okay, you know what? I'm not arguing with you all anymore. I'm going to do things my way. I'm going to do things on my own terms. I'm going to live my life the way that I see fit, because living my life the way that everybody else sees fit is not the move for me. It's not making me happy. It's not making me comfortable. I feel like I'm sort of not being honest with myself or with other people around me. We have that clarified by the Magician in reverse, and we also have the 10 of Chalices in reverse. So this is unhappiness. This is not being comfortable. This is not sort of achieving the sort of satisfaction in life that you want. And with the Magician, this is not you in reverse. This is not you utilizing all of the tools and gifts that you have available to you. Maybe you've been dimming your light for other people around, but that's sort of how you're showing up in your life right now, which I can imagine it is a little bit challenging for my Geminis out there, right? It's sort of the opposite of integrity, showing up as somebody that you're not. You're not prioritizing your own needs because you have the High Priestess in reverse. So the High Priestess, when it's upright, is someone who knows, somebody who trusts themselves, someone who really sort of follows their own intuition. They know what's best for them, and that's how they operate. So you not sort of prioritizing yourself and giving yourself the love that you need is because you're going against the grain, right? You're going counter to who you are as a person and what it is that you want out of life. We have that clarified by the Eight of Cups. So this almost feels like you are resisting walking away from people, places, situations that don't necessarily serve you. So, maybe you've been hanging on to the wrong people for too long, the wrong job for too long, the wrong lifestyle for too long. But there seems to be some sort of resistance to letting things go and walking away from them and walking towards something better, even though you know deep down that would be the best thing for you to do. It feels like it causes a certain amount of stress or anxiety when you think about doing that. It's almost a sense of, well, what is life going to look like if I go out here on my own? If I leave all of this behind, if I start living in my truth, what's going to happen to me next? Now, showing yourself that you're worthy, we have the Four of Chalices in reverse. So when the Four of Cups upright is seen, this is all about sort of refusal or not accepting anything, just anything that comes your way. And when we have it in reverse, it feels almost like there's a need to be a little more accepting of your own truth in the context of this spread. So thinking about what it is that you want, what it is that you had envisioned for your own life, instead of accepting what other people are bringing towards you, or, sort of rejecting, what's a good way of saying this? Thinking about what it is that you're putting out in the world, thinking about what it is that you get from other people, having that discernment to pick and choose what's best for you is something that you need to be able to do to show yourself that you're worthy. So you don't have to accept everything, right? And you don't have to be in a place where you are continually not impressed with what's being offered to you. It's okay to reject and accept things that make you feel good or don't make you feel good, but you're going to have to get to the place where you trust yourself. And that doesn't seem to be what's been happening lately. We have the Knight of Pentacles to clarify that. So the Knight of Pentacles in reverse. So the Knight of Pentacles is someone who has a sort of stable offer that they're bringing in, or something stable that they're offering to other people. And so I feel like showing yourself that you are worthy is giving that stability back to yourself, not sort of continually offering your pentacle to other people only to sort of have them reject it or sort of look at it a little bit sideways. What's coming through right now is that there may have been instances where you have tried to show up as your authentic self, where you have tried to offer people the real you and who you are, and perhaps they were a little bit resistant, like, wait a minute, this is a little bit of a change from Gemini that I know. I don't know if I want to accept this or not. And I feel like showing yourself that you are worthy of being loved, that you are worth loving yourself, is going to require for you to stop offering your pentacles to people who don't like to think outside the box, for people who sort of want to keep you in this little square that they've put you in, that they've sort of kept you in a place where they expect certain things from you that are not necessarily the things that you want to do or how you want to be. Being your authentic self with the Knave of Swords, this is being very observant, right? So I feel like Spirit is asking you to sort of take inventory of the people, places, situations that you have around you right now, and thinking about whether or not it's something that you need to be a part of. So this is, with the Knave of Swords, this is not someone who sort of takes immediate action. It is someone who sort of stops, they watch, they get all of the information that they can, and then they sort of create a plan to follow through on. We have that clarified by the Three of Chalices. The Three of Chalices is all about friendships. It's all about happiness. It's all about sort of sharing celebrations with other people. So I feel like you showing up authentically is going to start with your evaluation of the people that you have around you and recognizing that even though these folks may not be bad per se, they might be bad for you in a way. So thinking about the role of the friendships and the situations, the people that you have around you, and sort of putting that up against what it is that you want for yourself in this life is going to be important for you to sort of live your most authentic and real existence. What you need to think about letting go of, we have the Queen of Swords. It doesn't feel like for a lot of these situations that there is going to be some, big discussion, some, come to Jesus, lemon squeeze type of situation. It almost feels like a very quiet energy in terms of you making your decision. So if you think that there's going to be a situation or you're prepping yourself for a situation where you got to like go into defense mode, that you have to fight the people around you, that it's going to be, this sort of big to do, it doesn't feel like it's that type of energy. And we have this clarified by the Hermit. Now, the Hermit is someone who sort of at this particular point in their life is walking their path alone. They're on the search for enlightenment. So what I'm feeling is that your expectations that some of these folks may be able to go with you on your journey, that you can sort of talk them through it, is not going to be the case. This is absolutely going to be a solo endeavor on your part. This is going to be you doing a little bit of soul searching, figuring out what works for you, how to live in your own truth, and then relaxing into that energy. Now, as far as things that you may think about acknowledging or recognizing in this sort of journey to self-love and self-discovery. Oh, we have two. Oh, wow. Okay. We have a lot of cards that flipped over, and for whatever reason, I'm sort of feeling compelled to take all of them, which I don't normally do. We have the Hanged Man in reverse. We have the Nine of Pentacles in reverse. We have the King of Chalices, the Ace of Chalices, and the Knight of Swords. So one of the things that's jumping out for me, particularly with the Knight of Swords, is that you are going to have to take action sooner rather than later. The Knight of Swords is one of the fastest moving energies within the tarot deck. And there's no hesitation. There's, no second guessing, even if they're not particularly sure of what's going to happen, like they're running. But you have to make the decision, because this sort of delay that you've been under in figuring out who you need around you, where you want to go in life, and who you want to be, how you want to show up, that lack of decision making is keeping you from your own personal abundance with the Nine of Pentacles in reverse. This is something that I think has been a long time coming, and it's time for you to make the decision to move forward in the way that you feel best. Now, that's not to say that when you move forward, you're going to lose everything and everybody, because with the King of Chalices and the Ace of Chalices, there are new beginnings waiting for you. There are people who are out here who are ready to accept you for who you are and everything that you stand for and how you show up in life. So don't think that because you have to step away from, people who are currently around you that you don't necessarily feel comfortable being your true self with, that you're just going to be alone and lonely for the rest of your life. That's not what I'm seeing at all for you. This process of walking through and evaluating your friendships is going to open doors for people who truly accept you for who you are. Now, Spirit has a message for you. And let's see what that is. Okay, we have another couple that popped out. We have the Knave of Chalices, and we also have the Hierophant. So what this says to me is that there is an element of stability, a foundation that's coming towards you when it comes to the people that you have around you. So the Knave of Chalices is, they're little offerings, right? Of love, of affection. For me, this feels very conditional. And so I almost feel like those sort of conditional relationships that you have, it's like, well, I can be your friend, or I can date you, or I can do this for you only if you do X, Y, and Z, is what I'm feeling. And that X, Y, and Z is requiring you to contort yourself in a way that doesn't feel good to you. But I do feel like Spirit is saying that eliminating that will help create this new foundation, this new structure for you as you move through life. It's going to be something that's much more comfortable for you. It's going to allow you to live in your own truth, and it's going to invite in people who are more aligned with who you are and what your path is going through life. So, Geminis, I'm going to leave it there for you. I hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you on the next one.